Warm greetings students, welcome back to class Legal Aspects of Business. We were seeing second unit Indian Contract Act 1872. Today we'll discuss Module 8 Performance of Contract. Performance of contract means performing all the promises and fulfilling all the obligations required by the contract. It implies a contract is performed when the parties to it fulfill their respective obligation arising under it. For example, A contracts with B to supply 100 liters of coconut oil at rupees 160 per liter on a specific day. On a specified day, A delivers 100 liters of coconut oil to B and B makes a payment of 16,000. Modes of performance: actual performance. No obligation remains unfulfilled from both the sides. Means parties to the contract have fulfilled their respective obligation. Offered, tendered, attempted performance. Sometimes the promisor may offer to perform his obligation under the contract on a due date, but the promisee may refuse to accept the performance. This is what is known as attempted performance or tender. Essentials of a valid offer to perform. It must be unconditional. It means that an offer to perform must be unconditional if it is made as per the terms of contract. Suppose A offered to supply B a required quantity of butter if B agrees to buy a certain quantity of ghee also. So the offer to perform is conditional and therefore it's invalid. Next one, it must be made at a proper time and place. An offer to perform must be made within a stipulated time and during the business hours on a working day. And it must be made at the stipulated place. If there is no stipulation as to place, it must be made at the promisee's place of business. Third one, a person to whom the tender is made must give the opportunity to inspection of goods or article. It means opportunity to test. If the offer is to deliver certain goods, the promisee must be given a reasonable opportunity to test the goods to ensure that it is the same as what the promiser is bound to deliver. Next one, tender must be whole and not of the part. It means that for the whole obligation, offer to perform must be for the whole obligation of the promiser, not for the part of the whole obligation. For example, A who agrees with B to supply 100 bags of rice on a particular day supplies 80 bags. So offer to perform is only for part of obligation in spite of whole obligation. Next one, tender must be in a proper form and tender of the money in a current coins. It means payment in legal tender money. When a debtor makes an offer to pay the creditor, it must be the actual amount due and in the legal tender money. Next one, tender must be made to a proper person. To be valid, the offer to perform must be made to the promisee or his duly authorized agent. And tender for the delivery of goods must be for the quantity and quality as mentioned in the contract. Person who must perform the contract: a promisor himself, a person authorized by the promisor and legally representative, and third person, joint promisor. Joint promisor means where a joint promisor give a promise for jointly performing the obligation for the promisee. If any of the promisor dies, then his or her legal representative will perform the obligation. Next one, reciprocal promises. Section 2F, promises which form the consideration or part of consideration for each other. For example, A promises to sell and deliver his bag to B for rupees 25,000 on certain day, and B promised to pay 25,000 for the consideration. This is known as reciprocal promise. I deliver my bag to you and you pay me 25,000 for the bike which is going to be delivered. Therefore, these are reciprocal promises. Thank you, students.